It is such a beautiful day out here. It might be mid-November, you guys, but it's like 80 degrees. Last vlog, it was really windy when I went out to Flint Springs. But today, guys, I am out in Benton, Tennessee, and just over the hill right here is the grave of a very special woman, a very pivotal figure within the Revolutionary War, a very beloved woman in the Cherokee Nation. And of course, I am talking about Nancy Ward, otherwise known as Nunyahi, the beloved woman of the Cherokee Nation. In fact, here in the parking lot, here is the historical marker that tells a little bit more about her. High Priestess of the Cherokees and always loyal friend to white settlers, is buried on the ridge to the west. She repeatedly prevented massacres of white settlers, several times rescued captives from death at the hands of her people. She is also credited with the introduction of milk cows and many improvements in homemaking into the Cherokee economy. And I like what that sign says, but it does not talk about her importance, how she became the woman who she became. You see, she was born in 1738 in the heart of I believe it was a smallpox epidemic in Chota. And Chota nowadays is covered under about 20 feet of water. It's just outside Von Orr, but there is a memorial dedicated to the site, as well as Tonchi, the namesake that became Tennessee. It's kind of interesting to see how that works. But you see, she was born in 1738 in Chota, and from a very early age, she was a woman that was described as both beautiful and commanding of respect. She was a very resourceful woman. And in her younger days, she married a man named Kingfisher. He was also a part of the Cherokee Nation. And with him, she had a son named Five Killer and Catherine. Now, how she got the title of a beloved woman in the Cherokee Nation, it happened in the Battle of Taliwa in 1755. You see, it was a battle between the Creek and the Cherokee. And one of the stories was that Nancy, or Nunyahi, she would bite down on her husband's bullets, pulling off the explosives, putting them in the gun, helping her husband make the bullets more threatening, more deadly. However, Kingfisher, he will die in this battle. And in all this bloodshed, Nancy Ward, Nunyahi, will jump up from a log. She will rally she will rally the warriors, her friends, and they will push on to scare the Creek so bad that they give up and they surrender in this Battle of Taliwa. Well, you all must be wondering, what does it mean to be a beloved woman within the Cherokee Nation? Well, a lot of it goes back into the Cherokee belief system. You see, it is believed that a beloved woman, which by the way in Cherokee means Gigahow, they believe that the Great Spirit speaks through their women, which I find that very beautiful. And after Nancy Ward had rallied the troops, the warriors at Taliwa, they felt that the Great Spirit had spoken through her that day, and really she was given a seat at the High Council within the Cherokee Nation. She was given watch over over prisoners, over things like that. But really what she's known for is she's known to be an advocate between the Cherokee Nation and the settlers of the time, and especially during the Revolutionary War. Our cry is all for peace. Nancy Ward, aka Nunyahi, 1781, Long Island of the Holston. And this is actually a quote from when she was advocating between the Cherokee Nation and the settlers of the time. Which kind of brings me to how she got the last name Ward. You see, Bryant Ward, who fought during the French and Indian War, he lived in Chota. And now, because the Cherokee believed that marriage was not a forever institution, he and her eventually would split. Now they would have a child, Nancy Ward. Her daughter would be named Betsy. And now when Bryant Ward, when he moved back to South Carolina, Nancy and Betsy, they would often go back and forth, where it is often said that they would be welcomed with love and respect. And by the way, this is a sketch of Nanyehi, or Nancy Ward. And by the way, here is the this is what the Little Tennessee River looked like before that dam was put in. And this does tell a little bit more about what I've probably already talked about. But here is something that is a quote from her. "Our beloved children and headmen of the Cherokee Nation, we address your warriors in council. We have raised all of you on the land which you now have. We know that our country has once been extensive, but repeated sales have become circumscribed to a small tract. Your mothers, your sisters, ask and beg of you not to part with any more of our land." After this plea was written in 1817, Nanyehi would die 5 years later in 1822 near Benton, Tennessee. Her burial site sits atop this hill along with her brother Longfellow and son Five Killer. Nanyehi left her mark on history as a beloved woman of the Cherokee. And now that was one of the things that Nancy Ward believed, or Nanyehi believed, that the only way between peace between white settlers and the Cherokee Nation was that they would have to become one in unity. And she believed the way to do that was really the answer was within the women of both white settlers and the Cherokee Nation, which at the time there was a bit of a difference between cultures. You see, for white settlers, they didn't really give their women much say-so in the matter. But within the Cherokee Nation, women were highly revered and regarded within that nation, which up until about the early 1900s, that was still kind of a thing. Luckily, we've kind of moved past that. But really, that was Nancy Ward, Nanyehi's answer. And you know what? It makes a lot of sense. "Beloved mother, we love you until we meet again, your grandchildren." That is beautiful. Now, I've only been here like maybe one other time when I was 16. But I will tell you, it is so beautiful out here. But yet at the same time, there is nothing out here. Kind of seems that way for most of Polk County. Unless if you go up to like the river, the Ocoee River. And now as we get closer to the top, burial site of Nancy Ward, you all must be wondering how she was involved during the Revolutionary War. She did a lot of advocating, but probably one of the most interesting things that I find is that through Isaac Thomas, she would inform John Sevier of some of the things that might happen. During the American Revolution, there was a bit of a civil dispute between the Cherokee because the USA was splitting away from the British Crown, and there was still some loyalties there. So Nancy Ward helped out a lot with that by letting John Sevier know when certain factions or certain tribes or even the British were going to come through and destroy colonist towns or what have you. By the way, this is a really beautiful place to be buried. Let me see. Here's the first memorial, or several of the memorials. In honor of Nancy Nanyehi Ward, 1738 to 1822, in appreciation for her contribution to her culture and her people, Daughters of the American Revolution and Cherokee District Chapters. And by the way, I didn't know this till I started doing more of my research, but I didn't realize that Nancy Ward, her uncle was Chief Attakulla. And if you are from like the more northern parts of East Tennessee, you will know that Attakulla, he was the civil chief. And he advocated for a lot of unity or peace between the Cherokee and, I believe, yes, and British, well, at the time British colonists, and well, US colonists. And also her cousin was, well, Dragon Canoe. And if you all know the story of Dragon Canoe, he was a warrior that did not mess around. In fact, he was the reason why Fort Nashmore got wiped out in Middle Tennessee. And if he had not passed away, I believe it was from dysentery, you know, probably the entire like landscape of Tennessee would look entirely different, because he was such, he was a man that knew how to fight, and he was also a man that also knew how to negotiate, I believe you could say. Revolutionary War Patriots. This marker commemorates the men and women who achieved American independence. These patriots, believing in the noble cause of liberty, fought valiantly to found a new nation. 1775 to 1783. Now, having said that, here's the beloved woman's burial site, buried atop such a very beautiful hill. Very fitting, because she was one incredible woman. Nancy Ward, princess and prophetess, I believe I'm saying that, princess and prophetess. Here, you know what, I'll get just a little bit closer. There's a way how you can walk up from this spot right here, just so everyone can see it closer. In memory of Nancy Ward, princess and prophetess of the Cherokee Nation, the Pocahontas of Tennessee, the constant friend of the American pioneer, born 1738, died 1822. Erected by the Nancy Ward Chapter Daughters of the American Revolution in 1926. And right here is her brother Longfellow. Looks like he's got a turkey feather. Actually, her son, Five Killer, he's got one as well. Huh, I didn't know he fought in the War of 1812. That is really awesome. So you have her brother right here, and her son right here. I wonder where her daughter Catherine or Betsy are buried. May they rest in peace. May they rest in peace. And behind the grave, I believe these flagpoles would have the three, well, I want to say one of them would probably have the American flag, but really I imagine that you'd probably have the eastern band of the Cherokee Nation's flag there here, and the western band and the Oklahoma band. At least that's what I think. So, and why I say that is you have the Cherokee, I want to say it's the Cherokee Star, but what this represents is the seven clans of the Cherokee Nation. So you have the Wolf Clan, you got the Deer Clan, which, by the way, Nancy Ward's, I won't say, no, her mother was a member of the Wolf Clan. I believe it was her father who was a member of the Deer Clan. So you have the Deer Clan, the Paint Clan. By the way, the Paint Clan is where Sequoia came from, or George Guest. You've got the Blue Clan, you've got the Bird Clan, you've got the, oh gosh, where are the other? Oh yeah, the Long Hair Clan. I believe I already said the Wolf Clan. I'm trying to think, I can't remember what the seventh one is. I'll just put it right here. But anyway, that is the 7 clans of the Cherokee Nation. This video has been on my mind for a while. I've been thinking about wanting to do this for Native American Heritage Month for a while now. And through my friend Dakota, who runs the Old History Project, he lives a bit more north in the northeastern side of, well, he lives What am I trying to say? He lives in a bit more of the northeastern side of East Tennessee. But anyway, he came out here a few years back and he did a video on it. And I'm like, you know what? I think it's time that we cover this for Native American Heritage Month. Anyway, guys, this is going to be another vlog for another day. Remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care. Now y'all want to see more awesome videos. So without further ado, you guys, this Native American Heritage vlog is over. See y'all on the next one.